salary 1 and salary 2. Next, we will compare, and the if condition in PHP is very much like Java, very much like C#, very much like C++. So it uses if condition. Most programming languages, with the exception of RPG and VB. So it uses if condition, but the variables are exactly the same way as PHP has it. If there is only one statement associated with the if condition, writing of curly braces is not required. If there are more than one statement, then writing of curly braces is required. So once you're done with this code, you will run it on server. And of course, the first salary is more than second salary, and that's what it tells us. Similar to that, you can have an else if. Here, else and if are written together as one word, unlike other languages that you are familiar with, like Java and C++ and C#, where else and if are written separate words. So here it puts them as single word. So the usage of if condition is very similar to any languages that you have learned. You have two quantities that you're comparing. One is greater than other, or less than other, equals to, not equals to, greater than equals to, less than equals to. Those ideas stay the same. In last week's folder, I gave you the list of conditional operators, and all these conditional operators are listed there. Just like Java and C# and C++ for equality, it uses two equals to sign to compare versus a single as used in VB.NET. So we will now save the changes, and we will save this as if conditions 2. In the next if conditions, I will change this to this value and the second one to this value. So I'm treating one as an integer and the other one as a double value. So we are checking to see if it will tell me that both values are same or not. Because technically they're same, but behind the scene, one is an integer and the other one is a double. So in this case, it basically considers them to be same in PHP, even though their data types are different, but they're treated to be the same value. So it totally ignores that their data type is different. If one is without any decimal, the other one also, which has decimal, is 0. So it just regards them as same. Now we will save this as if conditions 3, and PHP actually has another equality operator, which is 3 equals to signs. Now when you run this guy, and it comes out as not equal to. The reason is when you use 3 equals to sign, it also checks for data type. So 2 equals to sign only check for value. 3 equals to sign, make sure that the data type is same and the values are same. So they have this operator for data type plus value. Similarly, they have a not equals to, which looks like this, okay? But that is not checking the data type. And this not equals to also checks the data type, the one with 2 equal signs. So I made that list available to you in last week's button on Blackboard. And also PHP has 2 not equals to operators. One not equals to operator is this in PHP, and the other one is that. So let's save this example as number 4, and we're going to switch the roles. We'll say not equals to up and equals to down there. Now when I run number 4, it tells me that they are equal. They are equal because the values are same, just the data types are different. So now we will change this to 2 equals to and refresh the output. Now they're not equals to. Now I'll use that symbol for not equals to. That one works exactly like an exclamation mark equals to. It doesn't check for type compatibility. And there is no type compatibility version for this one. So now when I do this output, if the salary is equal to the other salary, it will going to say the rate of commission and the housing allowance. And since it doesn't do a check on compatibility of the type, therefore the else will going to run. Now the main idea of this example is to be able to include more than one statement in an if condition. And that's where you will going to use the curly braces. The other thing that you can do in PHP, and also it could be done in other server-side languages, is that if you are in the middle of an if condition and you break off from PHP to HTML, it remembers that if condition is still going on. So all the piece of code that you write still falls under that if condition. So over here, I notice that both of these statements are plain text. There's nothing from PHP that I'm using in either of the two statements. So I can say, well, I will going to stop my PHP processing right here, and I will going to start my PHP processing again from right here. And both of these statements can very well just go as plain text. And I'll do something very similar in the